Okay, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about a really powerful biological shortcut to getting that laser sharp focus, especially if you're one of those people who feels like you're just operating in a fog for the first few hours of the day.
You know that feeling, don't you? The alarm goes off, and yeah, you're awake, but your mind just feels heavy, it's slow. And even that first hit of coffee doesn't seem to cut through the haze. It's like the real you is still loading, still buffering. Well, it turns out this isn't just about not being a morning person. What we're actually talking about here is a very specific biological issue, a kind of system malfunction. And the good news is it has a name, and even better, it has a manual override. That name is sleep inertia. And this is an absolutely crucial point. This is not a personal failing. This isn't about being lazy or undisciplined. It's a real, measurable physiological state. Just think of it like a biological traffic jam between your sleeping brain and your fully awake brain. Here's a great way to think about it. Your brain is this incredible, high-performance facility, but overnight, the ventilation system has stalled out. The air is thick and stagnant with that sleep inertia, and all the complex machinery inside your mind just can't operate at full capacity. You're not broken. The system just needs a hard reboot. So, how do we hit that manual override? How do we force the whole system back online? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple and honestly incredibly effective. We're going to use a jolt of cold to kick off a very precise chemical reaction. And let me be clear, this isn't really about the shock of the cold itself. I mean, that's just the first domino to fall. The real magic, the thing that creates that intense, clear focus, is the chemical cascade that happens right after. This slide just lays it out perfectly. The cold exposure hits, and bam, it triggers your fight or flight response, your sympathetic nervous system. Your body basically thinks it's in a survival situation, so it floods your brain with these powerful chemicals, dopamine and norepinephrine. These are your body's own natural focus drugs, and they just instantly wipe away the fog and sharpen your mind. Now, let's compare this to your standard morning coffee. See, caffeine, it works by blocking the signals in your brain that make you feel sleepy. It puts up a roadblock. The cold water reset, though, does something totally different. It actively creates alertness by triggering a natural chemical surge. The result isn't that jittery, anxious energy. It's a deep, clean, clear alertness that just slices right through that sleep inertia. But, this practice does way more than just jolt you awake for a few hours. It's really about recalibrating your entire system for the day ahead. We're talking about a full system reboot of your internal clock. We're actually talking about adjusting your entire circadian architecture. That's just a fancy way of saying your internal 24-hour body clock that runs your sleep-wake cycle. A blast of cold first thing in the morning is this incredibly powerful signal to that clock that says, okay, the day has officially begun. It's go time. Time for peak performance. And just look at the shift this makes possible. You're actively training your brain to move from this state of, stagnant inertia to one that's calibrated and precise. You're basically prepping it for high-performance, complex thinking, making sure you are ready to operate at your absolute best. And this all brings us to a choice. In the morning, we can either just react to whatever the world throws at us, or we can deliberately prime ourselves to engage with it on our own terms. This is about choosing substance. The default for so many of us is the morning scroll, right? It's a totally reactive, distracting habit that's all about prioritizing the status updates of other people. The cold water reset is the exact opposite. It's a deliberate, focusing act that prioritizes the substance of your own day, your own goals, and your own mental clarity. At the end of the day, this is all about biological optimization. Instead of trying to fight your body's morning grogginess with just sheer willpower or another cup of coffee, you're using a known biological trigger to work with your system to get the result you want. So let's just stop thinking of this as some kind of extreme biohack. It's not. It's a functional brain tool. It's a simple, reliable way to make sure your internal systems are calibrated and ready for whatever complex challenges you're going to face during the day. When you start your day by clearing that fog and calibrating your system, you're not just waking up faster. You are unlocking the full potential of all the hours that lie ahead. And that's really the key takeaway here. Don't leave your mental state up to chance. You are the architect of your own alertness. This gives you a blueprint and a tool to build it, reliably, every single day, using science. And what's the cost of this incredible system reboot? About 2 minutes, maybe less. a couple minutes of deliberate discomfort in exchange for an entire day of peak mental clarity. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible return on investment.
So the final question is really for you. The next time you wake up in that familiar fog, just remember you have a manual override switch. And once you've cleared the air and fully engaged your mind, what will you build with a day of unstoppable focus?